All right, it's 3 after. I guess we'll go ahead and get started so we can make sure we get through all your content.
Okay.
Remove some things from my window. A little bit about the leadership team. My name is Aaron. I'm a senior associate at Data Meaning. We have Erica here also. She's a director of housing statistics at Florida Realtors. Yamil, I think, is in the audience too. He's a principal associate at Data Meaning. Jeff's in the audience as well. He's a senior lead analytics consultant at Wells Fargo. Katie's here as well. She's a senior BI developer at Disney. And Andrew Kim is Yamil and I's director of enablement and training here at Data Meaning as well. A little bit about what our promise is here as the Florida TUG. We used to be the Orlando TUG, and we've morphed into the Florida TUG because we noticed that many of the other cities weren't meeting even pre-pandemic. So we asked Tableau if we could do that. They obliged and allowing us to invite across the state. So trying to network, trying to increase adoption within the state, give back to the community, give you a platform for you to share content, share some opportunities to inspire that career growth here using this tool. A couple of different ways you can connect with us. Have a couple of LinkedIn groups there, Orlando and the Florida Tableau user group. We have the Twitter account, a couple of hashtags. We have a Slack channel, an email, and the TUG event page. Most of those, again, are Orlando based because that's where we originally started this group from. Didn't get any job postings for this presentation, but you can see both on LinkedIn and Indeed, there's 14,000 jobs, remote jobs, mentioning Tableau in some way. So the careers are out there. Just got to find what fits best for you. We are going to have some swag giveaway at the end, but you must stay until the end to be eligible for that Tableau store swag. It's up to $25 worth of kind of whatever you want, but I'll communicate with everybody about an hour past the end of this meeting so we can coordinate that. So we'll draw later today and then we'll let you know. Here are a couple of upcoming speakers. In August, we have Kevin Wee, who's going to be doing a Tableau and Figma presentation. This September, the Flurlich twins will be here to do their TC22 presentation on how to do cool stuff. So if you were not able to attend in person, they're going to redo that presentation. So make sure you come for that. In October, Ray Givler is going to go through his IronViz journey. I don't know what that is myself, so I'm interested to find out what that is all about. We do have speakers lined up through February of next year. So I think one of the questions on the RSVP was if you're interested in presenting, just keep that in mind. But that at least gives you 7 months to prepare. So you got plenty of time. We'll reach out to you later this week or next week on trying to line that up. And without further ado, today's speakers, I'll let you guys go ahead and take it from here.
Let me share my screen on Analyst. Sorry,
No worries, take your time.
Share screen. Share. Can you guys see my screen?
Yep.
Okay, let me put it in a PowerPoint mode. All right.
There you're good. Oh.
Okay, just go back one slide for me, please, Pallawi. So hi everyone, welcome to our presentation today. Me and Pallawi and I, alongside with the data school, have been working on a solution which has came originally from Pallawi and the Nationwide Insurance team. It's about marketing and visual analytics solutions. So hopefully you'll get a good insight as to what Nationwide does today, but also how the dashboards sort of take you on that journey as well. So understanding why they've done the dashboards that they've done, but also understanding how we've built them potentially and what else they do with their data. So without that, my name is Lorna Brown. I am one of the data school coaches here in the UK. I am also a Tableau visionary and Tableau public ambassador. Pallawi, next slide, please. And this presentation was also built with the data school in mind. So the data school have helped Pallawi along the way. Also leading that is Jack Parry, our solution consulting lead in the US, leading our data school New York initiative. So, and then Pallawi, over to you.
Okay. Thanks, Lorna, for the great kickoff. Hi, I'm Pallavi. I'm a visual analytics solution advisor with Nationwide Insurance, and I support marketing campaigns from measurement and analytics perspective. I'm a process practitioner and data visualization expert with 18 years of experience across a variety of industries, ranging from IT, business, marketing, digital, healthcare, and also manufacturing. My mission is to leave everything better than when I found it. Besides my marketing analytics work, I love developing new recipes and learning new art skills. I'm so dedicated to lean operational excellence practices that I've implemented those at home, and I call them as applied optimization at home. One of my biggest achievements is standardizing my time-consuming Indian recipes for faster speed to table. I have varied interests and hobbies, so I like to refer to myself as art butterfly. Although making three-dimensional origami is my most favorite hobby. And this is the swan I made recently. It has about 1,500 folds made of 1 inch by 2 inch paper pieces. My yoga guru gave him a name, Rajhans, which means the king swan. So let me tell you a little bit more about my company. We are an insurance and financial services company based in Columbus, Ohio. If you heard the jingle, Nationwide is on your side, that is us. Today, we are a Fortune 100 company that offers full range of insurance and financial services across the country. We're proud to be recognized for protecting what you drive, where you live, and how you plan for your financial future. I work in marketing analytics team with marketing operations. The goal of marketing operations is to enable marketing organization to work effectively by empowering them to be more data-driven. And my role is to support our marketing teams with their campaign measurements using visual insights so we as a team can show the value of marketing. I consider it as my privilege to work with our marketing teams because data visualizations are most appreciated here. I get to work with our creative and marketing partners. They are very cool, creative, and visual people. They love data, but not in rows and column format. They like to see visual insights. So I get to use Tableau to create data visualizations to help them make smarter decisions. The campaign measurements in visual formats encourage them to create robust measurement plans right at the onset of the campaign. I will be walking you through my journey of designing data visualizations to support one of our personal lines campaigns. Our marketing team had an objective to improve bridge rates and discount utilizations for our independent agents. So they launched a nurture path targeting those agents, improve your bridge rate and discount utilization. Independent agent is the agent who sells not just Nationwide product, but other insurance carriers as well. Our independent agents have a choice in the carriers they write business with, and we want to be at the top of that list. So when I say audience in this presentation, we are talking about independent agents we send campaigns to. And Nurture Path is a series of email communications that send content relevant to an agent based on their needs, challenges, or growth opportunities. You may be thinking, what is bridge rate and discount utilization? So when you go to the agent to get, say, an auto insurance, the agent will use the software application called Comparator. When he or she feeds your information in comparator, it generates a report that compares premium from multiple carriers. And as a customer, you would probably choose a less expensive quote. If you choose to go with Nationwide, the agent will bridge your quote to Nationwide quoting system from comparator. This process is called bridging the quote. So bridge rate is the percent of quotes transferred to Nationwide quoting platform from comparator platform. Now, agent has a way to apply multiple discounts to your quote to give you a competitive pricing. This is called discount utilization. It is an indicator to know how many quotes were applied a discount. So here is a simple visual of how this nurture path was designed. We sent a series of 3 emails in the first release of this nurture path. Agents were qualified as leads after 3 email clicks, 2 click-throughs, and 1 call to action button in the last email. The agents who clicked on call to action button in the last email were identified as leads, and those leads were passed on to sales for further follow-up. We launched the first release of this nurture path in the beginning of this year and was the first one to use the entire Tableau Analytic solution I have developed that I will show you today. For campaigns, we produce 2 types of insights. First is engagement metrics, such as email count, delivered count, open rate, click rate, and things like that. And second is business outcomes, which is how agency performed after they received and engaged positively with nurture path content. In this example, we looked at bridge rate and discount utilizations 30 days after the nurture path was released. As the nurture path gets launched, we start working on engineering the data sets needed for analysis. The data comes from multiple sources within the organization. We join engagement data, agency performance data, and customer data to create a cohesive data set ready for Tableau consumption. As a visual analytics solution advisor, I want to stress on this point how important it is to understand the data sources and data structures and provide data requirements to the data engineers. I'm very lucky to have good data engineers I partner with and who are on my self-sufficient team within marketing. Again, in this example, we reviewed bridge rates and discount utilization before and after the email campaign. And this data is visualized in the dashboards that we will be reviewing today. The marketing campaign lifecycle has 5 phases, and you will see a Tableau visual analytics solution aligned with each of these phases today. The first phase is strategy and planning, where nurture path objectives and business outcomes to be optimized are defined. We also decide who to target in this phase. Second is audience generation, where we create a target audience list. Third is activation, in which we feed this target audience list into Salesforce Marketing Cloud through the data extension and activate the nurture path. Fourth phase is engagement measurement, in which we start measuring engagement metrics such as open rate, click rate, and so on and so forth. In the first phase, we calculate lift in the business outcome caused by the marketing treatment. The lessons learned from this release of the nurture path is used to improve the subsequent releases of the nurture path. We may not have enough time to navigate through the details of each dashboard, given the amount of content I want to go through today, but I've published these dashboards on Tableau public profile. Feel free to download and explore them after the session. You can reach me on LinkedIn if you have any questions or need to discuss more. So the Tableau dashboard that supports strategy and planning phase is exploratory, analytic, and segmentation solution. This dashboard provides an overview of entire agency universe in one interactive view. In this example, we have about 9,000 agencies in the universe. Our team collaborated with sales and marketing and identified 14 variables that are important for this particular line of business. 7 of these are performance variables and rest of the 7 are descriptor variables. Performance variables indicate how agencies are performing, and the descriptor variables show the characteristic of the agencies. I grouped the agencies into quintile bins marked by A through E, based on the percentile rank of each variable value in the universe, and visualize these bins in these dashboards. So now you can see the number of agencies in each bin for each variable. For example, for comparator quote volume, we have about 1,800 agencies in bin E, which is lowest quintile bin, and their quote volume is in the bottom 20th percentile. And we have about 1,700 agencies in upper quintile bin marked by bin A, and they have the larger quote volume. All these bins are interactive and cascading. This dashboard helps us with audience targeting requirements. For improve your bridge rate and discount utilization campaign, you will hear this a lot. We would want to target the agencies with low bridge rate and low discount utilization. Using this dashboard, you can quickly identify the agencies that have low bridge rate and low discount utilization simply by clicking on bin E of those variables. Bin E shows the agencies in bottom 20th percentile for those two variables. Another way you could strategize your audience creation is by first selecting the 2,400 agencies having low bridge rate, and then of those, selecting 712 having low discount utilization, and create an email content relevant to this target audience. As you can imagine, there is a lot more potential in this solution to make decisions on A/B testing, email subject line testing as well. Go to the next slide. So what do we have so far in the first phase? We know the business outcome we want to optimize. We have a strategy for targeting the audience. Now we need to generate the target audience list. So we are in audience generation phase. Going back to the same dashboard, if you noticed here, weights can be assigned to each variable using parameters. The total weights add up to 100%, and the weight progress bar here at the bottom shows you if you need to adjust the weights. Depending on the business outcome you want to optimize, you can assign importance weights to the variables you want to factor in. If you assign 0 weight, that variable is not factored in while generating the audience. In this example, I have 50% to bridge rate and 50% to discount utilization, and the rest of the variables are 0. But let me tell you how it happens in the real world. Assigning and finalizing weights to different variables is a work of collaboration, and different partners will have different priorities. Within this dashboard, we can accommodate those priorities and show the outputs generated visually. We will review that in next few slides. So once you assign these weights, the model runs and the total score is calculated for each agency. It is a simple calculation of bin number times the variable weight and adding that for all 14 variables to get a total score. Agencies are then categorized into 5 quintile bins based on their total score. And this histogram on the right shows the distribution of agencies in 5 bins based on their total score. From here, you can review the agency names and numbers in your audience list that you've generated in row level format. As I mentioned before, I designed this segmentation solution for personal lines line of business. I'm working on creating this solution for our commercial line of business and also for our agribusiness. We are currently working on identifying variables important for commercial farm segmentation. For this segmentation, we would be looking at our farmer data set to see if they have livestock focused or grower focused, Do they grow any special crops? Do they grow corn? Do they have any other insurance products with Nationwide? Do they have green beans? Do they have fleet of truck for transportation? Do they have telematics insurance for their drivers? These possibilities are endless. And I'm looking forward to completing that solution in this year. Next slide. So we've defined the business outcome to be optimized. We have an audience targeting requirements, and we also generated the audience in the last slide. So now how do we feed this audience list to the Salesforce Marketing Cloud where the nurture path is activated? To do that, I've developed this Tableau prep flow. The main point to stress here is I'm connecting to the same data set I used in the solution I showed you previously. I have a separate clean step for each of the 14 variables, and all the bin calculations are replicated from Tableau Desktop. You can see the final step in the flow here. This final step is adding session name parameter and running the flow for multiple weight scenarios. In this example, I ran the flow with 4 different weight combinations, and I had it point to a folder on my computer. I can also output the results in database table as well. Here I can select the output folder name, the file name, the output type. If you wanted to send the output to your database, you can select your path here. I assign all the weights in this pop-up window, and I hit the run flow button, and all the session outputs appear in that output folder that I've selected. If you recall, in the previous slide, we talked about different partners having different priorities. And to accommodate that, we ran prep flow with 4 different weight combinations as you can say priorities. Here, I'm connecting to that same output folder I wrote back using prep flow and visualize the results to compare the agency distributions per bin. You can see 4 sessions with 4 different weight combinations here using those parameters. The idea here is to bring consensus on weight combinations to generate a target audience list for the nurture path based on the outcome to be optimized. The visualizations make this job so much easier in this highly collaborative environment. Until now, we've defined the business outcome to be optimized. We defined audience targeting requirements. We also generated the audience. Using Tableau Prep, we wrote back target audience list in my database, and we passed it on to Salesforce Marketing Cloud. We activated the nurture path, and we sent it to the target audience. So this happens in Salesforce Marketing Cloud. The nurture path is activated, and it is time to measure the email engagement. This is done using the engagement measurement analytic solution. This is my campaign analytic dashboard showing email engagements. I'm using chronological style in designing this dashboard. So as the campaign progresses through the time, it gets populated with more data from top to bottom. There are 3 horizontal sections in this dashboard. All 3 sections are dynamic based on the filters on the top. You can review the results by release, by specific email, and also by sales manager. Upper funnel metrics section at the top helps us answer questions such as which emails did we send, how many of each kind, how many got delivered, how many of them were opened, how many were clicked on, and so on and so forth. On the right side here, you can see more details. You can see the engagement metrics split by emails sent in that email campaign. The lower funnel metrics section in the middle shows how many leads did marketing identify, how many of those were accepted by sales, and of those, how many did we win. Again, on the right side, here you can see more details. You can see the statuses of leads on these heat maps. The bottom section shows overall marketing and sales metrics. In this section, you can see summary metrics such as what % of the sales managers have leads, how many of those leads were followed up by sales managers, how many communications did the sales managers have with those leads, and split of those communications by channel of communication. What was the average disposition time? What was the average time to follow up with the leads? What are the average activities per lead? How many average leads do we have per sales manager? And if we set up the test and control group, which we will cover later in the presentation, I write a summary of the number of agents and agencies in test and control group on the right side bottom here. You can download this dashboard from my Tableau Public and explore more. There are additional navigational features here. You can click on each step in the funnel to see them on a map. This will help us know which states we are getting the engagements from and which sales managers' territories they are. As I mentioned earlier, we target the agents and we measure, hang on. As I mentioned earlier, we target the agents and we measure outcomes at agency level. So we needed to translate these results to agent and agency level. To do that, I've built another view rolling up to the agents and then to the agencies they roll up to. So this is the agent and agency level dashboard. Pull up my dashboard again. So it shows 24,000 agents engaged with our email campaigns, and they roll up to 8,000 agencies. 9,000 of those agents opened the emails, which translates to 48,000 agencies. 4,800 agencies, sorry. 586 of those agents clicked on the relevant content, which is about 500 agencies. Finally, we have 17 leads and 7 wins, meaning 7 of those independent agents we targeted gave us a verbal agreement that they will keep Nationwide product on their shelf. After all these efforts, very less number of leads or wins. But these results are not real. This data is anonymized. I also have one more view in this series that shows the names of the lead agents and agencies and their geographic locations. I pulled in competitiveness metric from audience solution to visually analyze their competitiveness in their CBSs. Competitiveness indicates if Nationwide's average premium is more or less compared to our competitors' premium in that CBSA. You also have an option to review weights assigned to each of the 14 variables after the fact here on this dashboard. At the bottom here, you can review the distribution of lead agencies across 5 pins based on their total scores, as I explained in the audience generation phase. So it has been 30 days since the nurture path is activated, and we want to prove if our marketing treatment caused any uplift in the business outcome. Again, in this case, business outcomes to be optimized are bridge rates and discount utilization. My last set of dashboard provide those insights. So here I'm showing the pre and post bridge rate for the agencies that opened and did not open the nurture path emails. As you can see, let me pull my dashboard again. As you can see, the bridge rate and discount utilization has improved after the campaign. Because this is anonymized data, we will not try to analyze these results in this session. We will only focus on the capability. We do 2 types of measurements to calculate the uplift in the business outcome. One is incremental measurement, and the second is pre-post measurement. In incremental measurement, we set up a test and control group. Control group do not receive the marketing treatment, only test group does. At the end of the measurement period, we measure the increase in the business outcome for both groups and take the difference. In pre-post measurement, we measure the business outcome before and after the marketing treatment. The bridge rate example is an example of pre-post measurement, although incremental measurement is more scientific and statistically more accurate. Our goal is to perform incremental analysis on most of our campaigns. Last but not least, I have developed this foundational capability that provides us insights on our contact data completeness and accuracy. Say we send an email campaign to 100 agents and we only have 60% delivery rate. Using this dashboard, we have a way to quickly know why we couldn't deliver it to the rest of the 40 agents. It's either because we didn't have their email addresses or we had invalid email on some of those. Contact data quality is the foundation of marketing analytic ecosystem. This dashboard provides governance on our contact data completeness and accuracy. In this dashboard, you can see the total contacts we have in Salesforce system. You can see how many of those are appointed or licensed to sell nationwide product. You can see how many agents are actively selling. You can see contacts by sales manager territory. You can quickly review how many of these contacts are complete and accurate based on their emails, phone numbers, and addresses using these donut charts. I've filtered this view to show you the contacts with invalid emails and the contacts that do not have phone numbers populated. I'm currently working on operationalizing this dashboard for our sales managers. I envision our sales managers accessing this dashboard because they are the primary owners of contact data. I see them selecting their name here and reviewing the contacts under their territory for contact data completeness and accuracy. From technical perspective, I'm also working on getting our homegrown write-back data extension added on this dashboard, which would let the sales manager correct contact data and write back updated contacts in the database, which we could feed back in Salesforce Sales Cloud where the contact data lives. I hope you had some good takeaways from this presentation. Thank you, Florida Tableau user group, for allowing me to share this rich content with the Tableau community. And thank you, my fellow nationwiders, the data engineers who work equally hard in getting this data for me, my friends from the data school who provided such a selfless help during this process, and my partners in Slalom for providing continuous feedback. Over to you, Aaron or Lorna.
Yeah, does anybody have any questions for Pallawi for any of the dashboards? I saw a few sort of pop up in the chat as she was going through. I think one was from Aaron around how do you get the dual axes chart working? I think just the average of one is the way to make that work. So it's kind of a dual axes with the average of one, and then you can get the labels at the very end. But lots of compliments for you there, Pallawi, around all of the things that you've done. I think it's I'm probably slightly biased of having worked with you all this time, but I think it's a really great presentation, and the way that you've just delivered it and showed the end-to-end process of how you got from the data, what it means to you and your company, and then how does it end up, and that contact data quality is definitely very important. So hopefully you can get that productionized and put into the end piece. There isn't that many questions. There's just lots of great comments and lots of compliments for you there. I just have a quick few slides, and then you can start thinking of your questions whilst you're just watching this section. So so Pallawi's mentioned the data school, and I just want to give you a little bit of an introduction as to what the data school really is. We founded, we're supported by the Information Lab as well. So if you've not heard of us, we do free training every Thursday at 3 o'clock. So you can come and join some training. We are a Tableau Gold partner, Alteryx preferred partner, and we also do AWS and Snowflake. We run the data school which is a career accelerator and training the next generation of analysts. And I'm fortunate enough to be one of those coaches. So the Data School employs people from all walks of life, whether that's graduates or career changers. It's 4 months training of solid Tableau and Alteryx with a little bit of SQL, Salesforce and Snowflake. And then we send them on to 4 6-month placements. The project that we ran with Pallawi was part of the 4-month training where we give our data schoolers the option to use real world examples. So this one from Pallawi is a really great example of what the team pulled together with Pallawi's knowledge and the baseline that she gave for us. So that's kind of what we do. And then we have, when the placements go on, we help places like Nationwide for 6 months to help them build new products, help them embed Tableau into their company and things like that. And you can work with us if you want. You can reach out to Jack Parry or Toby Sharp or myself as well, and I can point you in the right direction. But do just let us know if you have any questions about the Data School. Maybe you want to join, let us know. But also, I don't want to take up too much time by talking about the Data School. So please do drop me an email, and I'm sure Jack has his LinkedIn details in the chat for you as well. So Aaron, back to you.
So I have a question. So let me ask you a question. You guys use Alteryx actually to get all this data to work the way that you want it to work, or how do you, what was the tool to use?
We have our Teradata tables, and our data engineers use Databricks.
Okay, Databricks.
Mhm.
Perfect. Okay.
And then we obviously have Tableau Prep as well in there.
Yes.
Okay. Is there any more QAs? I don't know if Aaron, if you see any more.
I have 2 questions.
Yes, go ahead.
Pallawi, I always say your name wrong. I'd apologize. How long have you been using Tableau and Tableau Prep?
Honestly, I used Tableau Prep for the first time for this project. It's not one of the approved softwares in my company, but I got an extension to use it and try it. I know Tableau since 2015, but I used it on and off. Last year is the first year I'm using it almost every day. But before that, I just knew bits and pieces.
Yeah, I'm learning Tableau Prep a little more deeper now. How difficult, how easy was it for you as you started beginning to use it, and then towards the end, did you really pick it up really quick?
Yeah, it was not that difficult to use. I just followed some YouTube tutorials.
The next question I had for you was, so the dashboard that you just presented to us, and I shared the link in the chat for anybody that wants it. Oh, it looks like you did too. Has that dashboard been presented internally yet, or would this be the first time that anybody's seen it?
No, the dashboards have been presented many times, but we collaborate with multiple teams. So they have seen one dashboard at a time. They have not seen the ecosystem, which actually I have a meeting on my calendar on Monday to share that ecosystem in the company.
Okay. So how long have they had access to it?
All along, since last June, they started using the funnel chart. And then slowly I built more dashboards. So they've been using for a year.
Great. And then Lorna, one question for you I had was, how did you two get connected to start down this journey?
That's a great question. That was through Jack Parry and Pallawi's account executive through Tableau. So if you speak to your account executive or your customer success manager, they might point you in the direction of the Information Lab and the Data School New York, which again, Jack's great at sort of building those connections as well. And then because at the time, New York was literally just starting, the UK sort of helped with that as well. So we support sort of globally if you're East Coast, West Coast sort of thing. So yeah, we've had a great time with Pallawi, so it's been fun.
So she had a problem. She's like, I want to do this. I have this thing I want to show. How do I do that? So you guys came in and tried to work hand in
Yep.
hand on figuring that out. Okay. And
Yep.
were you the ones that not presented, but showed her how to use Tableau Prep, or like, maybe use this tool as opposed to any other ETL tool that they might have?
Yeah, so Pallawi had some starter dashboards as well. We kind of helped with those, and it took them along the way and helped improve them a little bit. And then she also had a starter workflow, and we helped optimize that and make that run a little bit smoother as well. So again, teaching Pallawi and Nationwide along the way of best practices as we go.
Okay.
So there is a question, Aaron, from Joe Warrington. He say, how real time are you able to get the data analyzed in Tableau? And he also said, do you use live connections at Nationwide?
So our data engineer, they have a schedule that runs and refreshes data real time. I have my extracts refreshing every morning at 6 o'clock. So it's pretty real time.
Okay, great. I had a question about how, when you're like, I see a lot of dashboards, right? Like almost great dashboards, like seriously, I like all of them. I actually work with similar data we were at, with Aaron, when we were at Universal Studios, Comcast Universal, where we were doing email, like the same, almost the same, a lot of funnels, email campaigns, anything related to the when people were buying tickets at the website at Universal, what was the conversion rates, things like that. People were clicking on, like emails that we send. So for offers, right? Tons of offers. So people were actually clicking on those emails, getting different offers. So you were from like Florida, you were getting some offers. You were from other states, you were getting some offers. But I'm wondering, how are you sharing this with the users? Like, are you sending them maybe an email from the Tableau server that says, hey, look, the data is updated? Or like, is there any communication, anything that you're doing, like custom views, that you can do in Tableau server? I was just thinking about that when I was looking at the dashboards. Maybe there is something that you're sending to a group and then they know that it's updated, or they're just logging in. I mean, just wondering, how do you sharing that with them?
Nationwide has a program called Independent Agent Activation, and there are multiple campaigns that are part of the activating those independent agents. As part of that program, we have every Tuesday, we have this collaboration meeting with sales, marketing, and chief of customer office, who give us the audience or the customer data. We have this integrated marketing and sales program within Nationwide. So every Tuesday, I get to share the results. We share the dashboard, and that spark conversations. So if we passed on, say, 20 leads to sales, then sales organization is at the table, and then we, follow up. So, of these 20 leads, how many are getting followed up? You see that in visualization. So then we have a really good, healthy discussion with sales. So that's how we share the insights. And as I build these dashboards for each campaign, so I build this for each campaign, and as the campaign goes live, as I shared, that dashboard is chronological. So it starts getting populated from top to bottom. In the first 3 days, you will see open clicks and relevant clicks. And then as the time goes by, you will see the leads and wins getting populated as well.
Okay.
Did that answer?
Yeah. So some of the link, I noticed that in some of the drop downs, you have select sales manager. Yes. So do you allow the sales managers to actually look at the dashboard and click on everything here and there themselves? Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Great. Thank you.
Some of these dashboards, I watch the traffic, and about 200 plus sales managers are using some of these solutions every day.
Every day. Wow.
Great.
Perfect. Any other question, Aaron, over there? Not sure if we have.
I had no other questions. Doesn't look like there's any more in the chat. All right.
Yeah, I'm looking
right.
at the chat. Yeah, I don't see any
All right,
addition.
I think that's about it. Unless anybody else had anything else you wanted to talk about.
No, this is very good, excellent. Thank you so much for being here. Also for everybody over there from the UK. I know that it's not easy. So thank you for being with in our talk. We always big fans of the data school here in Orlando. Everybody's a big fan in Florida of data school. So it's a pleasure to have you here. I mean, all of you. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
So next month we have Kevin Wee in August. I don't remember the date, but it's later in the month, and we will send out invites for that. And anybody that is still here, the 52 of you are registered for that swag giveaway. So I will get with everybody in the next hour, and then we'll coordinate how best to do that. All right, that's it. Thanks,
you
everybody.
so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate
you.
it. Everybody have a great time.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye. And Lorna, we have to get you in the, I don't know if she's still here, but we have to get you in the show whenever we can.
Got to get everybody.
Yeah. Okay,
All right,
perfect.
I will see you guys. See you, Emil.
Right. This is good. This was good. And she's, that's good. That's good dashboards. I'm very impressed.